Hi everyone, I'm Josh and welcome to Josh Wright Piano TV. Today I wanted to talk about some different methods that I recently used to help a student with memorizing a passage they were having trouble with. They're having trouble memorizing this middle section. And for sake of time, we'll just take 4 bars. You can apply this to the rest of this as well. This is from the beautiful C# minor Nocturne that was published posthumously. And even softer. All right, so let's jump into that middle section there when we go to A major. And what he was having trouble with was the small discrepancies in the left hand. So the first thing that we did is we established that he actually knew his right hand cold. Like he said, I've played this so many times. That would probably be the first step, is make sure that you really know the melody or the right hand before diving into left hand harmony and the little discrepancies that we find. So the next thing that we did, we just took these 4 bar cells that I'm going over, and I'll just take one today for, again, for time's sake. So here's A major, and then we go to E7, and then it's an exact repeat. But then here, we still are in E7. It's a little bit tricky because we have this A pedal point, so don't get too confused like, hey, how is this E7 if there's an A in there? It's just a pedal point underneath all these harmonies. If we look at the right hand, we see that E7. Going back to A major, and then we settle on A major there too. So we first of all established this. Okay, that's just an exact repeat. All right, now there's some differences in here. We go here, so we start out with the E7 and then go to A, and then E7 and going back to A major. And here, almost everything is identical besides one note. A lot of students will burden themselves with too much information. They'll say A, E, G sharp, A, E, A, and like, oh my gosh, I gotta memorize 8 things. You need to memorize 2 things. You need to memorize this, A, E, E, and then you need to memorize G sharp to A, that move. That's all you need to do. The G sharp comes first, and then the A comes second. And then, hey, we start measure 24, the exact same right there. And then we settle back down on what we first started with in measure 21. Okay. All right. So we've established that. So let's see if we can do that. G sharp comes first, then A, then a repeat of that, and then back to the original figure. Okay, great. And he could do that pretty well after we went over just those small little mental cues. But then as soon as I had him try it together, because a lot of times you don't want to go through every single iteration of memorizing techniques. If you get it, just call that good. You can do more for security's sake if you want, but generally I like to check every step to make sure and say, do you have it yet? And he still didn't have it, because as soon as we put this, he started getting confused again. I had him break it up right hand, left hand, hands together. He could do it. But his left hand was the thing that kept messing up. He never messed up the right hand. So I had him do a very strange little exercise, which is to take something completely out of context, like a C major 5-finger pattern, and just do this on repeat, one note for each left hand, one note right hand for each left hand note. So we're going to do this. It's super ugly. It's kind of interesting sounding actually, but it's kind of ugly. And you might think, why in the world would you do something so strange? What it's doing is it's forcing you to not focus too much on your melody and to really focus down here. And it's also challenging you with new material that's not hard, but getting out of your head. Because if you start going here, you might think, oh geez, I can do that. And then you only start focusing on the right hand, and then your left hand's neglected and it starts messing up. So putting something in the right hand just to get it going and then focusing on the left hand. Here I have my E to G sharp. And strangely enough, that worked for him. I was throwing a dart at a board there, wondering if that would work for him. But just little things in lessons like that, little bits of inspiration, like maybe have him try something like this, just to get out of the norm. When something's not working with memorizing, I want you to break down your traditional thinking of like, if I just play it 10 times hands alone and then 10 times together or 20 times together. A lot of times that works, and that's fine. Just use that. But when it doesn't work, try to throw a wrench into the mix and say, where am I breaking down? Okay, I'm breaking down. He was breaking down in the left hand. Can he do it hands alone just fine? Yes, he could. As soon as we put it hands together again, he wasn't okay. And so then we started to get creative and do weird things. Another thing you could do is you could just block out chords. It's a lot prettier this way. Or you could even do fragments of that. You could do... You could do like every other beat, or you could just do... That can challenge your mind with memory, knowing exactly where to come in. That's also a great performance tip, to purposely leave some notes out in your practice to see if you can get back on. I don't like to do a lot of that because you don't want to practice mistakes a lot, but occasionally throwing in a mistake on purpose so that you can simulate how to get out of that. That's an extra tip there. After that, what I had him do is one more time, left hand, right hand, and then hands together, and he had it. It was that strange little... out of the ordinary practice method or memorization method, whatever we want to call it, that really made the difference. It gave his right hand something to do because he got freaked out anytime he put the right hand in with it. So giving him kind of a mindless pattern and just lining up note for note allowed him to put something in the right hand and have that be active, so he didn't freak out, and his mind didn't freak out when he put his hands back together and said, I can't do this, and everything went off. That gave him confidence because anybody can do this if it's slow enough, and then it's not hard. But then putting that together while the left hand is working really seemed to do the trick. So I hope this strange little method can help you in your memorization study. Be creative when you're doing memorizing work. I've tried so many different strange little things, breaking things up, trying different harmonies while I'm targeting one hand like I just showed you. That really helps to recircuit the wiring in your brain to be more solid and be more sure and have a stronger foundation. I hope this has been helpful. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, that would be truly appreciated. It helps the channel to grow and be spread to more people. I also have a brand new webinar, 25 tips to help with note reading, memorizing, reducing tension, and performance anxiety tips. So there's 25 different tips. It's a short webinar. It's only 30 minutes. So I will leave a link for that down below. I will also leave a link for my 2 paid courses, Pro Practice and the VIP Masterclass series, down in the description below if you'd like to go even deeper than this channel offers. Those course sales help to support this channel and help to support those courses going into the future, helping me have time to dedicate to make these videos. So thank you so much for all of you who are members of those courses. Your support truly means a lot to me and my family and allows me to have the time to dedicate a lot of thought and preparation and editing and all the things that go into making these videos. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.